We're here with Hamil Harris, who is a staff writer and photographer with the Washington Post. He has a new book out, Career Diary of a Newspaper Reporter, 30 Days Behind the Scenes with a Professional. Hamil, nice to have you.
Oh, it's good to be here.
We're at the Borders Bookstore in Northeast, or is it Northwest?
Northwest
Border Store.
That's right.
Borders Bookstore. How are the sales of your books coming?
Oh, pretty well. I think the first 2 or 3 weeks it sold about 200 to 300 copies of the book. But, remember, the book publishing is not like newspapers. It's a little slower. And again, considering that we haven't done that much marketing, I think it's pretty good. And I think the book primarily is focused, for like students or people who want to know what it's like to be a daily reporter at the Washington Post or just journalism in general. So I do a lot of talks and speak to a lot of young people. And I think this is really like a how-to book. I think that's why my book is in the career section, because people can get a good snapshot of what it's really like to be a journalist.
So your book sells in the career section, but what made you want to get into the field of journalism?
Well, it was by accident, really, because I wanted to be a physician and stuff, but it started when I was like 12 years old, when the Ku Klux Klan was marching through my hometown in Pensacola, Florida, and I just wanted somebody to know about it. I remember the national news came in, and then I went to college, and some kind of way I wandered over to the student newspaper, and I always just had this drive to tell a greater audience about the stories and things that I got to see. And so when I came to Washington, D.C., same thing. They were protesting in South African, apartheid, and it just amazed me that things like that was going on in the world. And so I just had this drive. I worked all night in a hospital, and during the daytime I would go out and work as a reporter, even though I wasn't working for anybody at the time.
Right. What's the difference between writing a book and the energy it takes in your daily job as a staff writer? Is there a difference?
Yes, I think the focus of editing, a book process, you have to think much larger. It was funny because in this book, it was like a diary. I kept it every day, and to be pure to the subject, I would send it off to the editor. So I thought, I got this thing down. 30 days, it's over. But then it spent 3 or 4 months in editing. It's like every little detail. In a way, writing and editing a book is even harder than daily journalism because it's like a permanent thing. You have to know exactly what's going on, and it takes a lot. The editor seems to be a lot, more important in a book.
The book was written over a 30-day period, yes?
Yes, it was.
Why a 30-day interval?
Well, what Garth Gardner, who's the publisher of this whole Career Diary series, he's done several, almost, 20 different books on taking people inside of a career. What is it really like? From an artist to a cartoonist, he's worked for Warner Brothers and stuff. And so 30 days gives a person a realistic snapshot of what it's really like, the highs, the lows, and just reality. And this is 30 working days. So it's not like, okay, folks, I have the day off, see you next week. This is 30 working days. So it went from November 28th to January 5th.
So it kind of in the life of.
In the life of.
What are the strains on a reporter?
Family. I think number one, family. I start off writing this book. I'm on the floor. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking at my closet. My child, my little boy, is less than a year old. He didn't really know me. He was born in October. We started in November. My wife gets upset because I'm never home. My children wonder where their father is. In fact, the most compelling chapter in that book is how I broke my little girl's heart. I was supposed to go to a graduation from the Dream Marines, and I'm on the sideline of a football game, for 4 hours, and I tried to explain it. And I remember she telling me, I said, I will never break your heart again. She said, Daddy, Alicia said, that's a pie crust promise, easily made, easily broken. So a lot of times, it's nice to be at CNN and these big news organizations, the Washington Post, New York Times, but you pay a price. Even the good reporters, you pay a price. And thank God I've still been wearing my beautiful wife, Tanya, almost 20 years and 4 kids,
So you're a family man, and you've been able to incorporate family into this.
Oh, yes.
But the newspaper writing is a devotional type thing. It has to become some sort of dedication over a period of weeks, months, and years. What's been your favorite stories to share in this book, and why did you choose these particular instances?
Well, I think one of the top stories is funny. I remember the Bill Cosby story. It's the first day of the book. A young student comes into my office from the University of Maryland. I graduated from Maryland grad school, and I talk about how I go to the Brown versus Board of Education, affair, and ended up getting a whole breaking story about Bill Cosby, with his whole scorching rebuke, and I broke that story for the whole world. And just how on any day of the week you start off so easy and it can end up tragic or happy. I mean, there's another story that I talk about covering a funeral of a woman and a little kid that got killed by her estranged husband. It's just so many kind of things that happen. You just never know when you go to work what's going to happen by the end of the day.
So there's certain things that are local stories and others that are more national.
Oh, yeah.
What are your favorite celebrated local stories to this D.C. area?
Well,
thing that you write for the Washington Post.
Right. I still think, I don't know if it's a favorite, but again, I think the most poignant or the most meaningful, so I go back to covering the local community. I mean, Jericho City of Praise, Patti LaBelle concert inside of a church, and how I was able to, interview the celebrities. But at the same time, sometimes you go to church. Here's a woman, Betty People, the female pastor of a 19,000 member church. Her sons, two of her sons have died. I did both of them stories. I did both of them funeral picture, but she's still strong. She's still encouraging. I think the Jericho story within this book is probably one of the most compelling.
So, seeing that you've been in the news industry and reporting industry, where do you see the media market going? More to the internet, or still on television, or do you think newspaper reporting will be phased out?
Funny, at the back of the book you see a picture with me and Spike Lee and Ben Delacruz, because we won the Peabody Award last year for multimedia journalism on the internet. We've been pioneers at the Washington Post and WashingtonPost.com. Right. And so it's definitely going multidimensional. I'm working now on a story about Barack Obama and the campaign, and it's going to be on the internet. So it's like a little, God bless me, this past year to get 2 Emmy Awards. That's supposed to be for television. What a newspaper reporter doing on stage getting an Emmy Award. But again, it's because of this whole new platform journalism.
So what would be your best advice to a young person seeking to become a reporter? How do you rationalize the lifestyle of a reporter?
Well, you need a PhD. Passion, hunger, and determination. You got to love this job. You got to be hungry. Hunger is going to make you do it even when you don't want to do it. And determination means that you're going to have setbacks. But through it all, it's worth it because we're historians. We're living and breathing historians. Every day we get up, we have an opportunity to chronicle history.
What does it mean to physically fill your own book after it's completed? The process of writing had to have been a series of weeks, I imagine, planning and thinking about it. What does it feel to touch your own book?
In a way, it's a humbling experience. But when you walk into a big bookstore like Borders, they have my books here, and you see my little book, and you see these big, massive novels by Condoleezza Rice or Colin Powell, you realize that you're just a little fish in a big ocean, but you're still a fish.
Okay. Well, we want to thank Mr. Harris for a wonderful interview at the Borders Bookstore.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.